to climate change and green economic solutions. Now, one significant development that is set to revolutionize the way people travel across the country is the upcoming Kaduna-Kano railway train service. Was scheduled to commence operations in early 2025. This ambitious project promises to transform the way Nigerians move between major cities and reducing travel times. With the new service, passengers will be able to travel between Kaduna and Kano, two major cities in the north, in a fraction of the time it takes by road. But what more do we need to know? We have the right person in the house. He is the managing director, the Nigerian Railway Corporation, Mr. Fidet Okiria. Thank you so much. Good afternoon. It's good to have you in the studio.
Good afternoon today and good afternoon, Nigerians. It's a pleasure being here.
Well, it's another good news. And I had to reach out immediately when I saw this online and everywhere in the news. Kaduna to Kano. Tell us more about this and when this is going to take off.
Kaduna to Kano is a track that will link Abuja to Kano.
Okay.
Yeah, and if we can achieve that, it's going to make a lot of money to Nigerians. And so we have done up to McAfee from the Kano end, and then McAfee, Zaria, Kaduna.
Okay.
When I say Kaduna, that means where at Rigasa, where we have the present train operation terminating. And the main station is going to be at Rigachuku, a station after Regasa. That is where we are going to have our workshop for the northern end. So it's going to be, what do I call it? A big milestone in the rail development in Nigeria. And you can imagine if Itakbe is linked to Abuja,
yes,
and Lagos is linked to Abuja, we have covered more than 2/3 of Nigeria. Why do I say so? Itakbe to Abuja means you can travel from Warri to Kano, where Kaduna is linked to Kano. And any other state, now that we are opened up the space, it's no longer exclusive. Nothing stops from Enugu linking up to Agbo, and nothing stops from linking up to Enugu, and Makurdi to Lafia to Abuja. So that is a very critical sector of the track that we need to complete, linking it back to Abuja. Now that Kaduna is a dream coming to reality. So that is how I will put it. Why we should not relent in the effort of linking as soon as possible Ibadan to Abuja too. Yeah, I came from Abuja today. I left my hotel room by 7. My flight was 9:05, but I didn't leave from minute to 11. So if I was using a train, maybe with a new way of 5 hours, would have been to Lagos before the air, because rail transport is timely and scheduled. So we are hoping by either first quarter, second quarter of 2025, the rate they are going, all things being equal, the Kaduna will be a reality. And it's just seamless operation will not be Abuja Kano. You don't need any special ceremony to say Kaduna Kano. It will be Kano. The train that was stopping in Rigasa will stop in Rigasa and continue to Kano.
That sounds good, but let's look at logistics and security issues too, because that has to be put on the front burner. Because if you look at all of this, Enugu, all of these places here, now how are you also trying to make sure that you address logistics and security issues?
No, it is not easy. If you notice recently in the past 3 weeks, we've been having some people call it technical issues.
Yeah.
Derailment.
Yes, I noted that too.
It's part of the new security challenges that we are just discovering. That's what we call the switch. The 3 derailment happen almost at same way at a switch and at different stations. I don't want to use the word fortunate, but I'll say fortunate. because I was on the last train that derailed,
Wow.
and I could see firsthand. Being a rail technocrat, I could see it, and I think we are not going to have any derailment of such, because right there, I have to call my technical team, and we'll provide solution to add additional security to the switches. The point machine that we have put there were being tampered with, so we have done something to, even when the point machine is tampered with, the switches will remain as it was. So, my men are at site, working from Abuja to Kaduna to ensure that the switches are properly placed and to say what we call facing point and tele point, to ensure that trains are mostly admitted on the facing point. Even when they tamper with it, it will not cause derailment. So I will tell Nigerians, we will say what happened in the past 3 weeks, maybe by grace will be a thing of the past.
That sounds good. And I don't think we've had, what about vandalization?
It's part of it. Part of it. Yeah. The vandals that extended their activity to the switches. So what they do before now, because on the standard gauge, on the modernized track, will, in order to increase the local content, we are using concrete sleepers, not steel. So unlike what they are doing on the narrow gauge, where they go to cut the rail, cut the sleeper because they are steel, but now it is concrete and heavy. What they are doing is removing the bolt and nut that is using to hold the rail to the...
We own these things. Why do we do this to ourselves?
I think we need deliverance. That's what I would say. We need deliverance. Because we are now saying add another cost to rail construction.
Yes.
And people will already complain the cost of 1 kilometer of track is expensive. But in order to keep it safe, in order to make that it's secured for people to operate, we need to add additional security. And we had a meeting at the ministry yesterday, and thank God the security, all the arms of security agents are cooperating, and we are discussing seriously. We are also, we already have somehow a community engagement. Okay. We are trying, we improve on it, and we are also praying so that Nigerians will change their mind and know these things are made for them, not for the president, not for the minister, not for the MD.
True. These are things people need to understand. Well, I saw a figure talking about railway passengers in 2022 and what we had in 2023. I'm sure we are still going to be, 2024 is still going to be worked on. They'll be putting the figures together, and there was a bit of reduction in numbers. Yeah. Would that affect revenue? What does it mean to you?
You see, that is different between government and what we call businessmen.
Okay.
Yeah. Everybody is increasing his or her fare prices. Today, I flew economy, 202,000 from Lagos, from Abuja to Lagos. But we are still keeping our figure because government have to make the people comfortable and convenient. The government already know the take-home of every Nigerian, except if you want Nigerian to look elsewhere to empower themselves. So we have to, what the essence of government is to create that enabling environment. And rail all over the world is the first and critical part to create that enabling environment. Why? Because it's logistic. Why? People should be able to move their product, finished or raw, and able to move from place to place. There's a limit you can zoom. The impact zoom can make, not the impact, but eyeball to eyeball can create. People have to, part of tourism is traveling. So if you travel from Lagos to Ibadan by rail, it's not what you see on the road you see on the rail.
Yes, it's different.
It's not the relaxed atmosphere you have on the rail you have on the road. It's not the same way on the air. So I tell people, I can say I was among the first people that went to China on this rail issue. It happened during late Abacha, where I was among the first set of railwaymen that went there. We went to design the coaches and whatnot. But as first time, there was no, we were using buses in China. We travel 2 days, 2 nights to go home from place. But 5 or 6 days later, rail is all over the place. And the economy blossom.
Yes.
So you cannot remove the impact the rail played. You can now go by rail from Beijing to Shanghai. And people will engage. And you have them now start to manufacture locomotives and rail cars, as we are trying to also develop a Kajola by starting with assembly. So, if you move your product to the market at a low cost, your output from the industry will increase because people it's affordable and you have more people buying it. But if it's expensive, you have few people buying it, and the work in your factory will also slow down. I would say that is the strategy the Chinese use that made the economy to be where it is today. As I said, the rail was not there. 85, 86, we are not there at all. Even roads were not there. But they made that deliberate policy that every year we must increase the number of kilometers by rail, and now they are almost there. Like in the UK, they are no more. What they are doing is modernizing because they have already covered everything. They have covered everywhere, and they went underground. Yes. So in London, can you imagine without underground rail, even by foot, people would not have possible for people to move. And you can see the mass of people going by rail every day, and you see the economy surrounding the stations there. I was in Rigasa from Sunday to Wednesday. Rigasa is no longer the same place. Wow. It has changed. You see, good environment. They are fine building. They have done good roads. Yes, yes. They are changing the structure of the type of houses there. I remember the first time we went to break ground during Good Luck. We could not do it. We ran away, fear of insecurity. We were there trying to set up the place in the night. A security alert came, said everybody leave, and we left. And the president could not do that. But today it's a bubbling center. It's a bubbling center. Money is growing rapidly. If you go there to look for a plot of land, I don't think you can get it now. Wow. So rail expansion can bring development and growth. It can bring development and growth and save the money we put into annual maintenance of roads. Roads is good because you have to get to the doorstep. But for massive movements, for growth of industry, the roads cannot stand it. Because the heavy axle loads, they are always going to be failure on the roads.
I'd like to follow up. This is very interesting. And you talked about Kajola. Maintenance and service is something that I'm also concerned about. And are we also inculcating local content here?
Yes. You see, rail was before Nigeria, 100 and something. And the colonial master has embedded into rail that culture. And that's what we meant. I can't just employ somebody today and throw him into maintenance or into operation. Okay. He must do that 2 years. Learning on the job, what we call pupillage. When I entered, I did 2 years pupillage as a graduate because then rail is not taught. I attended Unilag. I always see the track when I come to you about to buy something. So they take you down to the basic. You join the fitters in the workshop. You join and you go around both admin, civil, operations, so that after 2 years, when you are discussing rail, you know what you are talking about and know where the problem is. So that culture is still in railway, and we are still keeping it. And if you see, every railway person is not in a hurry because they said you have to get it right first time because any mistake will result as an accident. And that accident will be disastrous because you are carrying a lot of human beings. And the freight you are carrying, let's say, like we are doing now, 35 wagons of containers, 35 wagons of cement. If you are not careful and you derail, it will lead to a very monumental loss. So patience is thing every railway man is taught to have. And the local content, as we construct, there's always that 3 years after sales, what do you call it now, service level, that in that 3 years, we work with any company that is constructing, be part of it, and full-time hand on the job, so that after 3 years, it's 100% being operated by Nigerians.
Oh,
so as I say, my men can completely dismantle locomotive and reassemble it. As I speak, we do that.
That's really good.
Yeah. If we have the encouragement, we can build locomotive. During the Bermuda time, we try to use coaches to build self-propel. But people look at that funding as waste. But research and development is not a waste. So that's why we want us to also look at, so that you have to have meaningful votes for research and development. So there's nothing too much that you get. The people doing the locomotive, they get the various parts from various original manufacturers, OME, and we can well do that.
Let's wrap up on this note. A quite interesting conversation. What more should Nigerians expect? Of course, we always like to know what more. We always ask for more. Yeah. What more should we expect from NRC?
They should, I would say Nigerians should be, first of all, be thankful to government, because upon the drawback we are getting from vendors, they are not discouraged. As we speak, the government is still pushing on, say, how we can expand, how we can quickly get the train from Aba to Enugu within the year. If I tell you the way people appreciate it, people were criticizing, oh, you are repairing the old one. But if we don't do that, people will even forget that rail ever existed on the axis. We have to keep it running. As we speak today, we are only providing 2 services. And I've told my men to go to 4. And you see the patronage is going up. I know as at last Monday, we had about 1,000 people on the train from Port Harcourt to Aba. And we are not stopping there. The Lagos-Ibadan is not being, Ibadan to Abuja is also being looked into seriously. Why the Itakbe worry? It was a trial on, what do you call it now, what do you call it now, build, operate, and transfer.
Yeah.
But it seems that it's not getting play, because the capital outlay and the input is heavy, and I don't see, except there is that special arrangement. Okay, you invest your money, when you operate is not enough, government will top it up. That is, I think, the basic truth, and nothing but the truth. So we should not stop, because the rail we are using, last time we moved from Kano, Lagos to Kano, and Kano to Lagos, on the track built by Colonial Master, and we just do some maintenance on them. So I don't think, if there's any road that's over 100 that they are still maintaining in Nigeria today, that are still meeting the standard. So that will tell you, it's not because I'm a rail person. Every country that have succeeded ensure that the rail is put in place. US, Germany, United Kingdom, latest is China. India. India is a rail country. I don't want to say a rail government. India's budget, rail budget, is different from the government budget. Wow. And the budget for rail is brought to Parliament. And the government budget is tailored based on what has been presented for rail development in India. So I don't think there is no miracle about growing an economy, because the number of people that will work there is heavy. The ease of movement and cheap rate of moving by rail, because we are moving in volume, cannot be overemphasized.
Interesting conversation. Mr. Fide Tohira, he's the Managing Director of the Nigerian Railway Corporation. Thank you so much for joining the program. We appreciate this. Hope to have you again soon.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. I will stay happy to Nigerians. So let's keep, make the government at least happy by making sure they don't vandalize what they are putting in place.
That's very important.
Thank you.
I think I agree with you with that. Thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
All right, then.
And enjoy your salad.
All right, then. The salad, that's true. Coming up next on our show, we shift our focus